afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to take a very important topic in project management, that is called as S-curve. In the previous class we have seen this, that there are three costs associated: actual value or actual cost, planned cost, and then earned value or earned cost. So as we have seen, I explained to you that with respect to the cost and debt, we try to draw a cumulative graph. This is called to be a cumulative graph. All these three graphs are cumulative. And these cumulative graphs will end up when the project ends. So all these three graphs will go up to the last duration or last date of the project. That is up to a date of TPT, total project time. They will go and they will end there. Now, what is this all process and why we need to know that? This particular thing is very important for all the three C's. That is for client, consultant and contractor. This is very important because once the project will start, I will try to explain how the project starts. Initially with respect to the time, for example, this is the time you have on x-axis and this may be the work, oblique you can say even cost, because as the work progresses, cost will increase. As the cost increases, work also increases. So initially when we start the work, slowly it starts this way. You can follow my pen. It goes like this. This we can call it as initially, as the project is starting on the zero date or the first of every month maybe, or whenever the sacred date is there, that day it will start. So as the time progresses, the work also progresses slowly. Then afterwards, after a certain period of time, this curve will become almost like a static. Means it goes up to a certain level and follow. Initially there will be a lacuna or a backlog. Then it will slowly start going on, building up and then it will come up to here. Then finally, in the last two stages, it may even go down. So this represents a graph like this. You start like this, you take it and then smooth landing. So this is as per the time. This is the type of graph it comes. Now when this is the actual cost or actual work graph, when we start using the same graph and using the cumulative value of the cost or cumulative value of the work, the same graph will follow like this and then it will become a S-curve. It is almost like a S-curve. So I will redraw it again. In the same graph, we will try to work out a cumulative value. When you take the cumulative work or cumulative cost, then it becomes a S-curve, perfect S-curve. So this one will be the actual curve now. It goes up to what time? It goes up to the time when TPT is attained. That is the last day of the project. This is the actual S-curve. This S-curve, how it is coming? It is coming based on adding on. I mean cumulatively you are taking either the cost or the work. Now you can ask me how this is useful, for example. Now this is S-curve that has to be drawn for every project. All international projects or corporate projects, they try to draw the S-curve, and this S-curve you can get from even the software. Even MS Project you get it. So this S-curve has to be taken a print on a bigger scale and kept it there at the site office. The reason, because this is associated with actually what? This is reflects or associated with the project cash flow. Project cash flows normally can be positive, negative or on time. So what it will happen? Cash flows of a project represents that how project is, either it is positive or it is negative or it is going on time. So positive means it is ahead of time, this is on time, this is behind schedule or behind time. So cash flows will represent the project's richness and also how the project can be completed within time. I will come to cash flows later when we start, because there will be always an opening and closing of cash flow. Opening will be there and closing will be there. All these things will represent here in this. How it is to be done? When this cumulative graph is drawn, normally the people, they try to forget that there will be another line that can be taken. You can take up to here, and on this you can take this as percentage of completion. On the y-axis, here you can use the cost, here you can use the time, and here you can use the percentage of completion. Normally this is missing in many of the lectures and many of the works that have been already published. So what I mean to say is the same thing, that is, for the project we try to work out a cumulative graph which speaks about the work, cost, time and percentage of completion. Now how it is useful? Suppose you start the work and it is going on, and cumulatively when it is pictorially drawn, it is taking a curve as the shape S. Okay. Then suppose you are going on 10th of first month, that is after 10 days of starting of the work. Just you start, you go there and cut it. This point will show you that how much cost has been already implemented, or how many activities have been completed, because it is representing work and cost both. How many activities have been completed? When you see this side y-axis, you will get it on this date, say 10 days, after a period of 10 days. Now if you take the same here, this one, you will know how much percentage of completion of work has done, or how much percentage of money that has to be released. That is nothing but EV. So this particular point will tell you that how much cost the project has earned. That means how much percentage you will give. You have through BOQ the values, the costing. See in this, from this BOQ, in 10 days, how much it has to be completed, how much money has to be paid. You can see this point. You can take the percentage of completion. Suppose if this is 5% or 6% completed, the total project cost, that is project cost, will be suppose 100 rupees. You just go for 6% of this. So pay 6% of 100 rupees. So pay 6 rupees. 6 by 100 into 100. So for example, you can pay 6 rupees. That means 6 rupees in the BOQ, where it stands. BOQ is a table. So in this table, where this 6% will come. So you add, maybe first one is excavation. Excavation you add, how much it is, how much is the costing. Suppose if it is completed, you pay 100%. If it is not completed, you take this and then multiply and pay accordingly. How much? Proportionally you have to pay. So S curve can be used. Suppose after 20 days you are going, you cut it here, and then how many activities or how much work is done, and how much percentage completion of project. Take this and check earned value. This is the earned value of the project. Now earned value, percentage it is giving. So this percentage, again you bring here, total project cost is 100 rupees. Suppose this cumulative percentage is 20 here or 30, then you pay 30% only to the contractor. So this S curve is a very wonderful tool which will use the controlling as well as monitoring of the project. Now when we come to the S curve again, normally this S curve can be taken as, this is the duration or time, this you can say as activities, this you can say as percentage completion, three things. Then normally what we try to do is, if this is going up to the project time, that is TPT, completion total project of the duration of the time. So exactly when this curve touches here, the exact date of TPT, it should be able to complete 100%. So here percentage of completion should be 100. Otherwise what does that mean? That means the project is behind schedule. That means you cannot release 100% completion of this BOQ. You cannot release. whatever be your cash flow, you should not release 100% of the money. Because if you pay 100% of the money, then the contractor will take the money and he will go away. He will say work is finished, he is going. Who will take care of the maintenance for 1 year? Who will take care of the performance bonds? All those things will come into picture. Now normally when we take the S curve this way, when you try to draw the cumulative graph, what I try to do is, I try to divide this into 3 parts mostly. Part 1, first phase, second part, third part. Now you may wonder what are these parts. The first part is the initial phase where the project starts. Initially there may be some hurdles, some issues, some problems, some topographical issues will come, some administrative issues will come. So this I call it as a initial phase. That is a slow phase. So this I will call as a slow phase. Slow. This can be taken as where the project has started. From here it gains the momentum. It goes on increasing now. So this we call it as a rapid phase. That means during this phase the project will be in full swing. That means all activities are going on well, and so many activities as per the bar chart, as per the network diagram, they are all going. Money is being released and percentage completion of the project you will accomplish. That means you will get that. Then again when it comes to the finishings and all that, then again it may become a slow phase. The last phase is also taken to be after rapid phase there can be again a final phase. We can call it as a final phase. Instead of calling slow phase, I call it as a final phase. So again in the final phase the project will be having, see, you can see the slope, how much slope is there. How much slope is there? You can see the slope. You can see the slope only this much. That means the difference between this point and this point is very marginal. So that means in the final phase the slope is very small. It is not very steep. What is the slope here? Slope of the S curve, it is very steep. See, you take this initial point, this final point, terminal point. So how much is the slope here? The almost 45 degrees. That is why it is called to be a rapid phase. Now take the slope here. This slope is less than this slope in the initial phase. The slope is less than this. So this is having maximum slope. This is having average, you can say. This is having very small slope. That is the reason why we are dividing the whole S curve into 3 parts. Now once you go on doing this S curve, it will become very interesting for you to go and try to monitor it and then try to control it. You can easily control with it. If the percentage of completion is not as per what the project desires, then you can start going on pumping more money or pumping more work into this one. I mean, more activities can be accomplished when you increase the cost. What you can do is you can try to go to the next diagram, that is the project called project crashing, and you can try to crash the project. That means you can try to more amount of resources into this, money, manpower, machinery, and duration, for example. And many people that try to resort to different shifts, maybe 2 shifts per day, 3 shifts per day. They go for shifts. That is the reason why they go into the shift. Big projects, if you see, night and day, 24 hours, they will be having 3 shifts. That is how they try to increase or pump more amount of resources into this, so that this phase is done very fast and then the project completes in time, and here you can pay 100%. Now you can ask me whether once you reach this point 100% is the total project completion time. So that means the client will pay 100% of the money? No, it is not done that way. Why? Because only 90% is paid here at this point. 90% of the project money, that is of 100 rupees, means 90 rupees is paid. 10 rupees will be held by the client. The reason I already told, 10 rupees is for the maintenance for 1 year, because this project, whenever it completes, it has to be maintained by the contractor for 1 year. This is the type of condition you write in the tender document. Now once you write for this one, so 10 rupees he will keep, the owner, the client, and he will be waiting till 1 year is over. Now big projects, 10% of that means it's a very huge amount. And also it reflects into a performance bond. The contractor is asked to deposit the performance bond of the company, what he has. This also we'll try to cover in the tender document there once we go to that chapter, where performance bond and also this 10% of the cost, that is maintenance cost, will be retained by the client. And how it will be released? When it will be released? It will be released only after 1 year of the completion of the project, because in case of any repairs, in case of any damages caused, like you can see so many cases that you are seeing in the in India, for example, big projects where roads, bridges and all that, and you are seeing so many videos where lot of damage has been occurred for all the newly developed bridges, roads, highways, national highways and all that. So lot of potholes and all that will be happening because of the rains and all, so many seasons, so many reasons. Why? Because they have to take care of this particular project and complete in a very good and optimistic way. That's what I mean to say, and with a lot of quality, good quality. So that is the reason why this particular amount is been retained. So I hope you try to follow S-curve and try to see what are the advantages of that, and then we will try to explain further about S-curve in maybe in the next lecture. Thank you very much then.